So this is the idea. Grant talks about 10x, right? But first he talks about the different levels of action and 10x thinking and 10x actions. And the missing link was the 10x thinking, right? And what do we know about thinking and actions? What do they create? They create the results, they create the circumstances, they create where we live, right? And so so generally that result is what we write down in our goal, right? So let's work backwards here. Whatever that result is, understand that whatever it is that you think you need to do is only a tenth of the level of action that you need to be doing. The other thing is that goal is in the wrong direction. It has to be a 10x goal. What kind of problems would you get there? What kind of action would you need in order to hit that kind of number? And the same goes for every other goal that you have. And so let's think about the habits that are not producing the results that you want. Let's start to take a look at where do you spend your time in the day? Are you spending time on things that are urgent but not that important and they're just eating up your day? Or are you truly working on things that are helping you develop and helping you move forward? And so the first thing to do is to identify the habits where you're going 10x now, that no matter what, you do it at a certain point in the day. Whatever your habit is, you find a way to make it happen no matter what's going on. And that level of action is 10x action. You do whatever it takes, no matter what. And so until we start to operate that way, we're not going to have the 10x results that we want to have. And so first is eliminating the habits. And when we look at the habit, we have to dive even deeper and think to what are the thoughts that are leading to that habit. What are the thoughts right now that I'm objecting to? What are the ideas that I don't fully agree with, that I'm not fully sold on? And how can I shape those thoughts to be ones that will lead to the results that I want to have? And so first, take a look at the thinking. If you can't think of thoughts that you go through every single day that are leading to your habits, then take a look at the habits. See where you're spending your time throughout the day. And if you can't find it in the habits, find it in the result. Look at your goal and look truly where you are currently. And what's the difference? What would the person that hits the goals that you have set be doing with their time, with their day? It doesn't match what you're doing now. The person that you're going to be when you reach your goals is a different person than who you are right now. And in order for that to have an effect on you, to become that person, the goal needs to be big enough for it to motivate you every day to take the level of action that the result will produce. And when you get in that frame of mind, you start looking at any thought that you have in the day. Oh, I should probably hit the snooze right now. Very first thought of the day. Catch that thought and make a decision. Make a choice. That is the power that we have, is to analyze from an outside perspective the thoughts that are in our mind right now. We can see them. We can think of them. and adjust them and reprogram them to take the actions that we want to take and truly build the circumstances that we want for our lives. But if we take responsibility for the good that we're building, the results, the positive results that we see, it's because I did that. Then we also have to be willing to take the responsibility when the results aren't the ones that we want, and recognize that result is also because of the actions and the thinking that we did. We did that. When you look at your life in that perspective, where we can't control everything that happens to us in our lives, but we can control how we respond to it, and the thinking that we have, and the actions that we take. And that will truly shape our life. And so that's the true benefit, is in reaching all of the goals that you've set. The true benefit is who you become. And in order to approach it as a duty, responsibility, from a place of ethics, that's when the change happens. And the crazy thing is, the chemical that the body produces when you hit a target is dopamine. And that is a quick rush, and then it goes away. It doesn't last long. And so you have to keep doing it. You have to keep hitting new targets. You have to keep hitting new goals. You have to keep crossing it off the list if you want to have that feeling again. It comes from a very old part of our brain where we would see food or see a fruit tree, and we could visualize it, and we can go towards it, and we can grab it and eat it, and our brain produces that. And so when you write down a goal, when you see it, you visualize it, when you can close your eyes and see it, we move towards it, and our body produces chemicals to do it. Now, on the other hand, when we give, when we share, when we build something together, that releases a completely different chemical. When you give someone a hug, when you see someone do an act of kindness, that produces a different chemical. And that chemical of serotonin, that is a long-lasting happiness. And so when you make it your duty to give everything, that's the power that we have, is that we can give. And only by giving do we ever receive. You give forth more effort and you get more result. And so you need both. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing. What is your deep purpose? Can you focus on it? Does it burn inside you to the point that you have to do it no matter what? And you have to have the targets and the action actions and the level of action and the level of thinking to reach them. And that's the formula.